Coach. A big week last week. You guys got not only the program's first Division I playoff win, your 100th career win, but most importantly, just this program keeps winning. The season continues. Just talk about last week's monumental victory.
No, certainly. There was a lot of things that were very satisfying, and you alluded to those. One was getting a playoff win. I mean, that's been a goal around here for a long time, and because therefore you're not just in a regional success, you're in a national success. So that was huge for us. Getting our 10th victory. I mean, that's getting double digits. That's something we've never done before. So that was something that I'm proud of. But most importantly, you spend a lot of time with each other as a football team and how we got the win. All right, and the vibe and the energy during practice and on the sideline when you see a group collectively sacrifice and have a common goal. And coming off the loss the week before, disappointing loss the week before, as we were trying to figure out how to play through the injuries and who could do what, and to see that stuff come to to get it together in that for one game for 4 quarters. And that was very satisfying. For Dresser to get his first start, and you're playing with the true freshman at left guard, and a couple hobbled guys, and you lose a strong safety, all-conference strong safety on defense, and the defense goes out and gets 6 turnovers, and you figure out a way to get a win in a game that changes leads 8 times. Those things are very, very satisfying as a head coach to see kids do that, and very enjoyable, obviously.
How much does it speak to the mentality of this team to be able to step up in that situation in a playoff on the road and having so many players down, and then you have guys step up and fill those spots and nicely?
No, it's very, you're always, each team has, a personality, okay? And as a head coach, all you can kind of do is guide it and try to develop it and get the most out of the kids. And this team obviously has a very, they're very physical. They like each other. I was kidding with them the other day about, in pregame, there's a certain way you want it to sound in pregame, okay? And I've had some teams, right, that there would be some talking or some silliness going on, and that's what it was. It was just maybe some silliness, all right? This team likes each other. They talk to each other. They talk, whether they're talking about the game or they're talking about, something that's important to them. And I've learned to adjust to that because they like each other. We don't have to sit in there like it's a library and be, so uptight. They'll go and play for each other, and they play hard. So, each team's got a different personality. I told this team, I said that I use Ty as an example to them before the game. And I said, I'm going to give you guys credit for this and the culture of our locker room, not only for this year but the years past. He had his little high school game Friday, and I was able to be there, and he was sick with a stomach virus or whatever, and he's getting sick on the sideline. And that's not something we talk about in my house, okay, about, you play through those kind of things, just kind of understood. And, because we've had Rodney Williams on the sideline, getting sick in between series, and he'd go out there and play. He didn't ask to come out. He didn't set out for 2 weeks or anything like that. And he didn't do it for me. He did it for, his teammates. And I said, my kids have grown up in this locker room, and they know it's about the team. And if you can go, you go and help your teammates any way you can. And I told them I appreciate that. That's cool. And that's why you're in this situation where you are, because with so many injuries and guys playing through them, or other guys, stepping up and playing, it's been a fun season, certainly has.
You obviously won't know this until after you play the game this coming Saturday, but is there now a little bit of familiarity with what you're doing and at this rate, because now you're going on the road again,
Yeah.
and the ranked team again,
Yeah.
and there's got to be some kind of, or is there some kind of familiar with that kind of?
No, I think so. I think we're going to look for any, I don't know if advantage is the right word, but anything that we can use, to give ourselves an opportunity. But I think so, right? And the kids did a great job of hey, we gotta win a playoff game. We lost last week. We got to. No, they practiced, they traveled, and they did the things necessary in the game, to win. So that's cool. Now, there's another challenge that comes with that is now you're going, it's not a 5-hour bus ride, right? It's a 3-hour, plane trip, and you're playing in, an awesome FCS venue. Hopefully there's 20,000 fans there, and it'll be, a college atmosphere like it's supposed to be. So that'll be a challenge. And then you turn the tape on, and you're playing an outstanding Montana State football team. So that creates another challenge in itself. So. I think they feel like they belong. Yeah, I do. I think so. Winning 10 games, you realize, hey, we can play some football. But we'll have to be, somebody said something to me the other day about, well, golly, you got 6 turnovers and you still only won by a point. And I mean, it kind of is a backhand compliment, but what that means is we made 6 less mistakes. Okay, and football is about beating the game, and taking care of the football is part of the game. And there's different things that could have happened that you call the game a little bit differently if you don't get those 6 turnovers. You take different chances and stuff. So that's okay. We're an opportunistic team with some injuries. We're maybe not quite as talented as we are if we're at full strength. But football is sometimes. We know this. I was talking to Ty about it this week. The best team doesn't always win. The team that plays the best on that day, that's the team that can win. So, lesson learned.
What were your expectations for Dresser Wynn, starting quarterback, coming into that game, and your post-game evaluation of his performance?
Right. First of all, nobody deserves success more than Dresser Wynn does in our football program. All right. To have 2 surgeries, to not be full strength, to come and sit in quarterback meetings every day for these last several years, and not be the starter, and to be a good teammate and still be popular among his teammates. I heard a couple of guys saying, that Dresser motivates them, because a good player, Dresser's probably the most heralded high school recruit we ever signed here. I mean, he was committed, to Western Michigan, and then it just due to injuries, and then Keon came in this year and had an outstanding year as Player of the Year in the conference. So I have the utmost respect, and I enjoy being in quarterback meetings with Dresser every day. Now, when it comes to expectations, he made some great throws. He really did. I was laughing yesterday at quarterback meeting because there was probably 3 or 4 or 5 things that looking forward to watching tape with him today, a run check or formation check or something that he could have controlled maybe a little bit better. All right, but I just have a lot of confidence in him and his cerebral makeup of understanding, protections and understanding run game and stuff, because he hasn't checked out any in quarterback meetings all these, through these last several years. And so I was yelling at him. I was laughing. I know he was thinking, "You never yell at Keon, and you're yelling at me over missing this check." But the 2 things. One, my expectations of him are very high mentally for sure. But 2, because he's limited right now physically. From a running standpoint, right, he's got to get all those things, okay? Keon may miss a check, but make a guy miss and run and get the first down. That wasn't a situation the other day. So very excited for him, and I know that it was a big boost for our team.
Similar question about the carries. Here's a program guy, and he makes a big interception in the wrong
Right.
to basically preserve it, because they're going
Yeah.
to field goal range.
No, I tell you guys, that was you're standing on the sideline, and you watched both sides of the ball, and you just can feel the speed on both sides and the physicality and the collision sound. They sound in a certain way. It was a quality football game, and so that was the first thing that stuck out to me. I mean, we were playing hard. They were playing hard. We were making plays. They were making plays, and the energy on the sideline was if they were in the game, guys were giving their all. If they were not, they were cheering on their teammates. Exactly how you want it to sound, and as a coach, I was very satisfied with that. From Fufu's standpoint, he's another guy that just means so much to us, and his energy that he brings, his positivity. I don't know if I've ever seen him without a smile on his face. He picks me up. I mean, we have a bad series on offense and he walks past me, I can hear him. And whether he pats me on the leg or tells me, "We got him, coach," and we got a lot of that on this football team. Pitt kills me. he makes me laugh. He's been with us 6 years. Last time we were on a plane, he got sick going to Hawaii. Okay, and so I had talked to him about, we'll see if he can make it through this one better. But me being the head coach and calling the plays, I don't get to spend a whole lot of time with our defense, and Chris Belize and our defense staff have done a great job. All right, but we'll score a touchdown or get a couple plays, and Pick will walk by me and he'll be like, you got him, Simp, you got him, and I said, Pick, all we did was just throw it to Donnell. Donnell made the play, but there's a cool belief in that. There really is. There's a cool belief that everybody kind of knows what their job is and what they're supposed to do, and there's a new opportunity for somebody to dress, to be the star of the game, each week, and these kids will be are greatly appreciated and be greatly missed.
Coach, you mentioned this team really liking each other.
Yeah.
And I go back to the very first press conference of the year before the first game, and you're wearing a wristband that said, "I am my brother's keeper."
Mm-hmm.
Is that what this is all about?
They do a great job with that, and I don't know. I think I more took that from them and kind of what I was seeing around the building and stuff. I was laughing the other day, or during the game, and you understand as a head coach, you're locked into the game, all right. But there's also things that you hear on the sideline, you see on the sideline that you're concerned about, that you need to fix. Okay, not just X's and O's wise, but it's an emotional game. It's an emotional game. And, and it could be their last game, okay? So you're always concerned about that, what kind of legacy are you going to leave? And you throw a fit on that sideline, and you see it every Sunday, and you see it every Saturday where guys get upset. You don't want that as a head coach. You don't want guys to lose their composure. And so there was points during the game to where we're going back and forth, and I'm thinking, win, lose, or draw, man, I'm proud of this football team. Okay, I'm proud for the 9 straight wins. I'm proud of how they were competing because I know what's not out there on that field, and you guys do too. That have followed us all year. I know there's touchdowns not out there, and there's good players that aren't on that field. And when you were watching the camaraderie and the energy and the competing and the belief that the kids were creating, I'm very very excited in that. But going back to I am my brother's keeper deal, Larko had a good game, but he had one bad punt, all right? And I hear one of the kids yell at him, come on, what are you doing, Larko? What are you doing? And at first I was concerned about it. Larko's a great teammate, and one kid said something to the other kid, hey, he's going to be okay, he's going to be okay. And the reply was, Larko's my best friend on the team. He knows what I don't mean anything by it, but I'm going to get on him about that because he's better than that. And when you can do that to each other, you can call each other out to give them your best and give your concentration, and kids aren't into their feelings and stuff, you can create some positive energy. So that was, going back to I am my brother's keeper, that's maybe they listened that day, and it's carried on for several months now.
With everything that y'all have accomplished this year, 10
Mm-hmm.
wins, playoff win, conference,
Mm-hmm.
you beat Jacksonville State, how much are you just enjoying this, or is that something that you'll say after all this is done?
No, I'm enjoying it. No, I'm not. Maybe 10 years ago or 15 years ago when we went, you think you're going to go back every year. So we've had some good teams, that you've covered us, that you dropped a game you weren't supposed to drop and you didn't get the automatic bid, and I'm already in the duck blind, by now, or on the road recruiting. So, no, I've enjoyed it. It's bittersweet from the standpoint, as soon as we found out as the AD and I were about to get on the plane and fly back, that the high school game, the Westview Championship game, is the same, basically the same time as our game. So it was bittersweet. But I've got one son or two sons, but one son playing in it and love him to death. But I've got 100 other kids that I love as well, that have entrusted me this 4 and 5 years of their life. And Ty understands that, and so I've got a job, but also a lot of emotional investment to go to help them, accomplish something that we all want to be a part of. But I'll obviously be keeping track, with what's going on in Chattanooga as well.
Do you feel like heading into this game against Montana State, based off of, kind of playing with a chip on your shoulder this past
Mm-hmm.
weekend, do you feel like you're kind of playing with house money?
Yeah, that's a good way to say it. Absolutely. I really felt like that last week, not without Keon and without Chris Jackson at the left guard, and the right tackles played a little bit, but he would still be down. No, absolutely. Okay. Now, but it does change a little bit. You're like, Okay, there's 16 teams left, okay? You know, you still say, hey, let's get the best plan we can get, and if, you know, we get these turnovers, and if this happens, you know, on the road, you know, we'll have a chance. Yes, to answer your question, you know, absolutely, but is it a challenge? Absolutely. I mean, absolutely. To go on the road, what a huge advantage to be able to play at home and in a cool venue, and another team's got to fly to you 3 hours, and you got to win on the road. I mean, that's you know, that's an unbelievable advantage. But you know, you got 4 quarters. You got 4 quarters, and you just fight and scratch and, you know, try to find a way. But no, there is. We've had some games, take some conference games here where. You know, the anxiety, I talked about that a couple of weeks ago, of winning because you know on paper that maybe you're statistically better, and that can create some, you know, that can create some tightness, that can create some forced mistakes because you're not turning it loose, you're not making calls to flip the field and some big plays and taking some chances and stuff. So no, absolutely. So, you know, so every fake punt, you know, onside kick, you know, fake field goal, whatever, you know, every blitz. You know, no, you don't leave anything in the bag, and I won't have any regrets if they don't work because if it gives our kids a chance to win, then we got to let it go.
The Ohio Valley Conference has traditionally been much maligned in football.
Mm-hmm.
Last 9 seasons, 13 wins, you made it 14 this past week. What does it say about, and of course we all know the turmoil that the conference is in the midst of right now with football and teams participating. What does it say nationally about what this conference is capable of if given the opportunity?
No, that's a good point. That was I didn't realize we had how many wins in the conference?
13 last 9 years.
You know, 13. You know, so you know, that's respectable. You know, no national championship, you know, out of there. Like Missouri Valley's got the you know, the North Dakota State, but you know, that should stay enough to where, like I said, we should have been hosting. I'll still say that, okay? But that is, I can't control it, all right? All I can do is just try to coach our team the best we can, but I hope it does earn us some. Hopefully we're back in the same situation next year, and I do think that happens to you. The more you get a chance to do this, more credibility you get, more opportunities you get to host. Okay, so just what Jacksonville State, you know, did for themselves during their run there when they were in the league. So I think that does play into it. You know, but I also think there's some things that happen because of the different venues that are in the Missouri Valley or the Big Sky because of where they're located, and maybe there's not, you know, professional teams and other things. And in the state of Tennessee, right, we got 5 FCS teams, so you know the crowds get watered down because there's so many schools to choose, and you got the Predators and the Titans and different things. You know, sometimes you think, oh, they got 20,000 people in their venue, and we got 5 that creates, you know, that's where your votes go when it comes to top 25 and stuff like that. Maybe that's part of it. I think that's definitely part of it, as well as they do have good teams. Okay, they do have good teams and good players, and a lot of them are in states that you know, maybe that don't have a, you know, an FBS, and so there's really good players that go to North Dakota State and go to Montana and Montana State, and these teams that, as we've been watching these Missouri Valley and Big Sky teams, you know, the last 2 weeks, they're certainly good players.
Piggybacking off the earlier question from Kevin, just kind of comparing last week to this week, you don't have Thanksgiving, you don't have you know, the trip to Decatur County on Friday night.
Yeah.
You know, and you've also been through the whole choosing 64 players to travel this week. Is that going to make things a little easier leading up to it?
I think in some aspects, yes. In some aspects, yes. But, you know, we probably got a lot out of things. Once it's settled in that, hey, you're not one of the 64, but we need you to stay in practice. You know, there's initial shock with that, okay? You know, we had a good day Thursday, okay? We were able to get good walkthrough, and Wednesday night spent some quality time together at the Angry Axe over there with a team bonding deal. So that was cool. So we benefited from that. You know, going through, into this week, I think the challenges are, as you know, we'll fly out of here on Thursday. Okay, so that's different for us. We'll spend 2 nights on the road. Okay, you know, a different time zone, you know, weather, altitude. You know, there's some different challenges that come with it for sure. You know, talk to some different people that have played there in that venue, and I heard nothing but good things. Okay, that your kids are going to enjoy it, but it is an advantage, you know, for them. You know, Missouri State had their kids right behind us. You know, got after us. Their students, and then they had the band. You know, that's right there. But I've never heard that. You put the band right behind the. You know, right behind the, you know, but it's a good college atmosphere. But I think the crowd this week will play a bigger part, you know, certainly into the game.
What have you seen from Montana State so far in your day and a half of prep?
Right. Obviously, I've been spending most of my time, or all my time, watching their defense. You know, good players, good scheme, play extremely hard. No, that's a well. You say the best defense we play? Yeah, probably one of the best for sure. And then you see, and they've had a week off, you know, and a week to get ahead of us. So that's certainly an advantage. So, you know, very good defensive linemen, you know, just tremendous strain that they play with and multiple coverages on the back end. You know, so you get into the game and you get a plan and then you have to make adjustments during the game. We did that the other night. The coaches did a good job with it, and the kids did an even better job with it, of some things that we try to do different than we had done before that we thought gave us the best opportunity to win. And I think that's a good coaching staff that can do that, and that's good, smart players that can make adjustments off of weekly practice and then make adjustments during the game. Okay, hey, I know we usually do this, but I want you to do this. I think this is going to give us a chance. And the kids are able to do that and visualize that. So I give Dresser and Donnell and Peyton Logan, some of those guys, tremendous credit for that.